Now that we have the hard drive actually out of the ETX case, I've already removed the 4 screws, 2 on each side, unscrewing the hard drive from the actual caddy itself. Now, once again, if you're not wearing a static strap, which I should be, you want to. You don't have to just wear it with motherboards, just wear it with anything, especially on something like a hard drive where you can see you have what they call an input-output shield. I'm sorry, not an output shield, but an actual controller board. This controller board controls everything inside the hard drive, how it's partitioned. It actually tells the computer what size hard drive it is and what type of drive it is. So, we're going to pull this off, doing the best that we can not to touch that actual controller board. So, hands inside, never touch a controller board, and we're going to dock it. This is just a regular SATA dock that has no power to it. We're going to go ahead, power it on, and once it's docked, you'll hear the drive start to spin up. Now, in the event that this was a heavily damaged drive, the procedure would be a little bit different. This is a backup and reinstall, but let's say, for instance, that there was actual virus removal, and this is why we're actually backing up the data. You would see this pop up if you're on Windows 7. Instead of autoplay, I would actually want to close these down, because I want to run a scan of the drives. Before I transfer any of these files onto my server, I'm actually going to find the drive. Now that I've found the drive, I can pick the individual files or folders that I want to scan with Bitdefender. I highly recommend Bitdefender if you're going to go with a paid program. For the money, you can't really beat it, and as of 2011, it did rank #1 on CNET for virus detections and definitions updates. So we can scan each file just by doing that way. Generally, users, Windows, and then programs x86. I know of about 3 different viruses that are actually programmed to run fully on a 64-bit system. Even a 64-bit operating system always has that x86 for programs that were designed for a 32-bit operating system. x86 representing the 32-bit operating system. The standard program files representing anything that was compatible with 64 or 64 itself. So these 3 files are generally the ones that I will scan: Windows users and the x86 file. After that scan, if everything came back clean, I'll then create another folder on my desktop called Backup, and that's where I'll transfer all the data temporarily until the new install is done, and I can redock the hard drive and move the files back on. So that is the backup procedure. So as you can see, the hard drive has to come out of the computer, come out of the caddy, get docked to the server, scan for viruses, and then all the information transfer over. And depending on how much, it could take some time. This is a 1 terabyte drive with about 200 gigs being used, so I'm going to be transferring roughly around 130 gigs of files over to a backup folder. It should take me somewhere around 40 minutes for me to transfer those files after the scan. So 40 minutes of transferring that up, and then after that is done and the hard drive is reinstalled with the computer, the new operating system put on, I will then take the hard drive back out, redock it, and put the files back on the desktop where they belong. The customer's desktop, of course. And this is the backup and reinstall procedure.